Right now, new plans for an updated Virginia Beach City Hall. Here's what the aging building looks like right here. It was built nearly a half a century ago, and some say it desperately needs a facelift. All right, 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee is live with what the new look could look like. Jacqueline.
Well, David, city council members tell me that the new city hall will go right over here next to the current one. Today, Mosley Architects presented to city council members, showing them what the future city hall could possibly look like. Today, Mosley Architects presented these renderings to City Council, just an idea of what the new City Hall building will look like. These renderings aren't final. Council members gave input today as part of the city's early stages in constructing this building.
Remember that this new building is going to be the People's House.
Councilman Bobby Dyer and other City Council members voted back in October to build anew, right next door. The new building will stand at 3 stories and will add an additional 70,000 square feet.
With the larger gallery, get people out to the meetings, get them proactive, get them involved, and help us make those difficult decisions we're going to have to do in the future.
The list of problems within the current City Hall is long. These pictures only show part of it. Back in October, I spoke with city engineer Tom Nicholas.
The electrical system, the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system in a condition that's very old, very deteriorated, in an environment full of asbestos. And so it's time to address this.
Aside from the current building's dilapidated condition, Dyer explained that another motivating reason was the public wanted a larger city council chamber, but it comes with a price tag of $55 million. Dyer said he's aware some residents think that money should go towards stormwater concerns and public safety.
We want to build this to last, and we want this to be representative of what Virginia Beach is about. And the point is, this is going to be the people's building that's going to last a very long time.
And construction is expected to begin next year and finish by 2021. Live in Virginia Beach, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.